Good evening, you're watching News Mongolian Beyond. I'm your host, Amir Gambatar. And for top stories, foreign diplomatic missions took part in tree planting in Nalaikh district. Love Your Children campaign was launched. And Bogd Khaan Palace Museum open house day start. And for the news, stay tuned. The National 1 Billion Trees campaign was launched by presidential decree in 2021 to reduce the impact of global climate change and protect and increase forest and water resources. The opening ceremony for the Green City Citizens Participation Tree Planting campaign was held last Saturday in Ulaanbaatar's Nalaikh district.
The event was opened by Deputy Prime Minister Amar Сайхан and Minister of Foreign Affairs Bogd Khaan.
Representatives from 28 diplomatic missions and international NGOs are taking part in our tree planting event. Global climate change is an emerging issue, so Mongolia should also make some effort to prevent its negative impacts.
I think Mongolia is contributing greatly to reducing the negative impacts of climate change. This year, every district in Ulaanbaatar city has set a goal to plant 1.2 million trees.
Officials from 28 countries' diplomatic missions, including the embassies of the UK, Canada, Turkey, India, and Japan, as well as representatives of international non-governmental organizations and cultural envoys, joined the national tree planting movement.
We think that people traveling from Ulaanbaatar city to the eastern provinces can pass by the park and plant trees and water them. We will create the necessary environment for planting trees. I hope this park will turn into a forest with lots of trees where people can spend their free time.
Trees give off oxygen and reduce the amount of stormwater runoff, which reduces erosion, the pollution of waterways, and the effects of flooding. Many wild birds and mammals depend on trees for food, protection, and homes.
The nationwide Love Your Children campaign has been launched to promote positive parenting. We have details in our next report. The traditional way of parenting is being lost. Home upbringing was one of the most important aspects of raising kids. Unfortunately, nowadays, our traditions and customs are being lost. Parents should join the National Love Your Children campaign and pass on parenting experience to the next generation. We also need to pass on our national heritage and folklore, such as proverbs, tongue twisters, fairy tales, and epic poetry. Parents also need to spend quality time with their children. I would also like to ask the government and large companies to allow their employees to spend more time with their families. For example, allow staff to have paid leave. This advocacy campaign is being organized for parents and teachers.
During the campaign launch event held at Suhwater Square, parents and children received psychological counseling and participated in activities at the Creative Station. Parents and their children created handicrafts and paintings.
At this event, children are drawing, building paper airplanes, and spending time being creative with their parents. There, for example, fathers are teaching their children how to make paper airplanes. In the other pavilion, a girl and her mother are painting rocks and making clay rings and bracelets. This is how today's activities are happening. Children are also learning about their basic rights and protecting children's rights.
Parents said they were grateful for the Love Your Children campaign's free counseling and advice on healthy family relationships and positive parenting. Pediatricians and dentists also took part in the event. The campaign will continue nationwide.
Here's the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
In honor of the 95th anniversary of Mongolia's Museum and International Museum Day, the Bogd Khaan Palace Museum is organizing Royal Palace Spring 2022 open house days from May 16 to 22nd. Families visiting the Bogd Khaan Palace Museum on those dates will get discounts of 50 to 75 on tickets. Singer Oyun Tsisik, musician Tsingilma, and vocalist Dawasurung will perform Hang Orting Ailho, a musical performance featuring throat singing at the Mongolian Pavilion. The Hoshakla traditional embroidery exhibition will be on view. Events promoting Mongolian cuisine and an evening with young Mongolian poets will also be held this week. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Mongolia to the Netherlands, Bogd, presented his letter of credence to His Majesty King Willem Alexander. After conveying greetings from President of Mongolia Khurelsukh, Ambassador Bogd expressed his commitment to expanding bilateral relations and cooperation. King Willem Alexander congratulated the ambassador on his appointment and expressed confidence that bilateral relations would grow stronger during his tenure.
Although readiness assessment is being carried out in the trade zone, corresponding feasibility studies haven't been conducted. In 2003, a detailed environmental assessment was completed. General and master plans were also developed but not approved. The Minister of Economy and Development and the Minister of Construction and Urban Development are now developing new plans. The Tsaganor Free Economic Zone has an area of 708 hectares and 9 entities registered to operate there. In Zamiot, with 900 hectares available, 101 hectares are in use by 81 entities. Plans were developed for the zone's development in 2011 and they are now in the final stage of review. There are several challenges to successfully developing the country's free economic zones. Mutual agreements have to be reached with Mongolia's neighbors and investor suggestions have to be considered. Ensuring stable policies, transitioning to a public-private system, and deciding on models for investment and governance need to be decided through discussions with investors. According to official sources data, between April 29th and May 5th, Mongolia has exported a total of 4,039,000 tons of coal by shipping it in 2,891 containers through autoroad and 499 containers through rail. During the same week, 492,000 tons of copper concentrate was exported, which is an increase of 23% compared to the same period of the previous year. Since the start of the year, 3,371 tons of copper cathode have been exported. As for iron ore or concentrate, the country has exported a total of 1,056,000 tons by 20 containers through autoroad and 927 containers through rail. As of May 5th, the central bank has also purchased 4,060 kilograms of gold this year.
Here's the weather forecast of world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.